again. Welcome back to another tutorial with Miss Sweet. Today we are looking at Ozymandias. Within this short video, I will cover a line-by-line analysis of the entire poem. Grab a hot drink and your notes and let's go. Ozymandias is 14 lines, which makes it a sonnet. However, sonnets are usually intended as love letters. This adds to a strong theme of irony surrounding the poem and the poet, Shelley's romanticist views of monarchy, power, and mortality. The name Ozymandias is the Greek version of the name Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great. Ramses II famously had a huge statue built in his image as a representation of his power. Egypt's power was at an all-time high during his reign. Shelley was notably an atheist in early 19th century England, when Christianity and the divine right of kings was still commonplace, especially in Europe. Romanticism was a political movement around 18th to 19th century England, known for rebelling against authority and encouraging imagination and connection with nature. Shelley was expelled from Oxford University for refusing to admit he contributed to an atheist pamphlet, The Necessity of Atheism. Shelley refused to apologize to his family for participating in what was considered grievous heresy. Line 1 to 2. The noun traveller is an interesting choice because Shelley deliberately avoided other titles, such as scholar, which would have indicated that the titular king, Ozymandias, is well known or studied in academic or historical settings. The traveller, however, came across the statue by coincidence, and not because Ozymandias is persistently famous. By using the adjective antique, Shelley creates a sense of the land in question being old and valuable, yet useless, powerless, beyond ornamental value. Line 2 to 4. The full stop after desert is a caesura. It's abrupt and disruptive, and therefore can be likened to the end of Ramesses II's reign. The phrase half sunk in line 4 creates a sense of being forgotten, the ultimate fear of Ramesses II. Shelley is arguably mocking monarchs who shared the fear of losing power by being forgotten. The same applies to the phrase a shattered visage, which describes an unrecognizable face. By using the specific verb lies, Shelley could be referring to either interpretation of the word, laying down physically, such as in death, or lying as in deceit. Cold command is an example of alliteration, where a hard C sound is repeated, which could be likened to the cracking of a whip, a well-known punishment for slaves throughout history. Tell that its sculptor well those passions read implies that the sculptor was extremely accurate in detailing Ozymandias' likeness, which could mean that the sculptor was simply very talented or incredibly accustomed to seeing a sneer of cold command. The verb stamped has abrupt, violent connotations. Shelley could have created imagery of a child in a tantrum, which belittles the character of Ozymandias. Stamped could also imply dominance, as to stamp on something requires being above it. As well as this, stamped, in an adjectival form, refers to an object which is marked, either to claim it or place a label on it. The hand that mocked them refers to the hand of the sculptor that created an image of Ozymandias, but Shelley may have intended a double meaning where mocked is both an imitation and an insult. By including, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings," the inscription comes across as almost pleading, due to the insistent nature of having a written reminder of a name and title on a statue, which supposedly resembles Ozymandias. This adds to the theme of insecurity and vanity, further pushing the fear of losing power by being forgotten. "Ye mighty and despair" capitalizes the adjective mighty, implying that it is a noun in this sentence. The use of capitalization likens the mighty in question to God, which could be Shelley's way of describing Ozymandias as a vain king who taunted the gods into despair, as though the gods would feel inferior to him. Shelley creates very lonely, empty imagery of the setting in which the statue resides. Shelley may have done this to emphasize irony in the amount of power exerted to create a statue, only for it to be so far from civilization that a traveler would stumble across it by accident. By ending the poem with "the lone and level sands stretch far away," Shelley reinforces a romanticist view that nature and time are unstoppable forces which no monarchy or civilization can resist, as in the end all turns to dust. Essentially, the message can be interpreted as, no power is eternal besides time itself. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this helpful.